My wife took a 7-week solo vacation, leaving me with the kids while I worked. I felt betrayed and fell out of love. I'm seriously considering divorce. I'm 32 and I have been married to my wife, 30, for 4 years, and we've been together for 8. She is a stay-at-home mom. We have 2 kids, 1-year and 2-year-old, which was incredibly taxing for my wife. She wanted a solo vacation break for a few weeks, where she would travel different states, visit her high school and college friends, go to concerts, and do a lot of fun stuff. She asked if I would be fine with it. I asked if she could make it maybe a couple of weeks shorter, because 7 weeks managing our 2 children alone sounded really daunting, especially since work was also getting taxing recently. I do work remote, so at least that worked in my favor. My wife and I discussed for a couple of days, and I ultimately agreed with her that she did deserve a break because of what she has been through the past few years. And so, she took her vacation. The first week managing our children alone was extremely difficult, and I did feel like I was losing my mind, but I survived. My sister came over to help me from the second week on. She was honestly a lifesaver, and I will be eternally grateful for her. I never directly asked her to help me, but I guess I indirectly did because when she video called me the end of the first week, I basically broke down in tears. So, from the second week on, my sister stayed over at my house to help with my children, and a huge burden had been lifted off my shoulders. I also was really able to focus on work and meet my deadlines. To be brutally honest, I did not miss my wife at all. I was emotionally and mentally relaxed, and also had a lot of fun with my children and my sister. I felt a sense of betrayal that my wife had actually gone through with the 7-week vacation. I slowly fell out of love with my wife. When my wife came back from her vacation, she was super refreshed and recharged, but to be honest, I was a bit indifferent. My wife tried to initiate sex the first night she came back, which I rejected because I said I wasn't feeling it. The subsequent days, I had the same level of indifference in our day-to-day life, and she probably noticed it, but didn't say anything. A week later, she asked me why I was like this, and I told her I don't love her anymore. She apologized for taking the 7-week vacation and asked if there was anything she could do to fix it. I told her no. We pretty much went through the motions next couple of weeks before I finally decided that I wanted a divorce. She seemed devastated when I brought up divorce, which surprised me because I already told her I don't love her anymore. She asked if we could do couples therapy or marriage counseling first before I started looking for a divorce lawyer, and I told her I needed some time to think about it. I spent a few days thinking about, and I am still leaning towards a divorce because I basically don't love my wife anymore, and I don't think marriage counseling can fix it. Best comments. You mentioned requesting that your wife take a shorter trip, but not what the response was. You don't mention any communication with your wife during the 7 weeks. The idea of her taking a 7-week vacation with children this young is ridiculous. But why did you agree to it? I can understand a deep well of resentment, but I'm surprised you could fall out of love entirely. I'd suggest some individual therapy before you finalize any major changes. I agree that there's a lot left out, but if this was about a man saying he needed to leave for 7 weeks, leaving his wife alone with 2 toddlers and not contributing anything financially or domestically, we probably would be in favor of the wife, without asking any questions. That should be the case here too. Opie is absolutely right to feel the way he does. The red flags would fly so high in this post if that happened, lol. She left for 7 weeks with a 1-year-old and 2-year-old at home? That's effing insane. If she took 4 or 5 days, or maybe even a week to recharge, that's one thing. But 7 weeks, that's almost 2 months. You can build a new life during those 2 months. That's crazy. Update number 1, 10 hours after the first post. I woke up this morning, spent an hour reading the comments, and decided that I at least owe it to our children to try couples therapy before considering divorce. I told my wife of my decision, and she was really happy about it. But I also told her I don't expect too much to come out of it, because I just didn't love my wife anymore, and wasn't sure if couple counseling would fix that. I want to clarify a couple of things. Money was not an issue. I am lucky to be working in a high-paying, albeit stressful job. It really didn't bother me how much money my wife spent on her trip. The main issue was I was emotionally and mentally overwhelmed managing 2 children while I was also working full-time, albeit remote. My wife was also specifically against daycare for personal reasons. By the end of the first week, I had lost my sanity and basically broke down in tears when my sister video called me. My sister had enough time to come over and help me from the second week on, and she really wanted to because it gave her a purpose in life. She has no plans to be in the workforce, and she is pretty much set in life because of my father's money. I did ask my father to not leave any money behind for me and give everything to my sister because I was already in the workforce and had a good job. Best comments. OP says in the comments section how many times his wife contacted him and the kids during her vacation. Did you or the kids have any contact with your wife during this 7-week vacation? She called me 2 times during the entirety of her vacation. In 7 weeks, she called twice? I would be calling each day to say goodnight to my kids. That is bad. I've had work trips where I'd be gone a week at a time, and I call my kids a few times a day. Poor kiddos. She left you with 2 infants for 7 weeks and only checked in twice? That is psychotic. Don't bother with the counseling. You need to file for divorce and sole custody ASAP. No doubt another D was involved here. Probably an X. Definitely planned. 7 weeks of getting plowed and show up hypersexual, dead giveaway.